Petty politics and lobbying was played even prior to Arnab's petition in the Supreme Court for his release. A letter was sent by Mr. Dave at that point in time, which I think was the timing was absolutely inopportune. And his point was valid in the sense that, what about the other detainees who are languishing in the jails? But the timing was inappropriate. Now here again, you can wage these professional, bickering or rivalry or whatever you may say, howsoever you may want to term it, at a different stage or at a different time, and you can continue with that. But especially when the nation is facing its crisis and when the politicians are also not, bobbing at each other as much as, trying to refrain from doing so, and, trying to look at more, I'm talking about Maharashtra, I don't know about the other states, especially here, there seems to be some sort of a unity in trying to deal with the crisis. There is no BJP Shiv Sena, distraction as such. But this, be that as it may, this is something which should have been overlooked and should have not found a place at all in the Supreme Court. In fact, the generous thing would be that, okay, you've appointed Mr. Salve, I'll be there to assist also. Please take in my request also, and let us fight this whole thing together. And then we've got all the time in the world after the pandemic to deal with professional rivals and to say that, I should be there and you should not be there, and you should be there and I should not be there. Those kind of things, you and me, can always take place later on. Right now, it should just be we. And that is the way the legal fraternity is always, helped out each other. I mean, we call up each other often, when we need help. And we don't ask for money from each other. Somebody wants a case, somebody wants an authority. We always help out each other, and we don't, that thing never even enters our head. That, he's going to win this if I give him this authority and all those things. So why now? Why all these things now? So the timing is absolutely inopportune. And once again, I repeat that Mr. Salve should not have recused himself. His stature would remain intact. It doesn't matter what barbs people will throw. And in fact, when you are of that stature, barbs will come your way. People will throw stones at you. It will happen. Rightly or wrongly so, whatever it may be, you need to go ahead. If you have been called by the apex court of the land and by the father of the court, the father of the Indian judiciary, that is the Chief Justice of India, you need to, just go by that if it's within your area of expertise. And it is, I'm sure, because this is something which, anyone of us can deal with it. And certainly Mr. Salve can deal with it very, very easily, given his stature. And this is something which you should have not, sort of recused himself. But I mean, that's his call, it's his decision. I think if he finds comfort in that, then we all have to respect his decision, whether we like it or not.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to ask you, Swapnil, like we've been mentioning, the lobby does this in every case. Like we've been mentioning, it's a black day. But also when the country needs maximum resources, when the country needs to tackle this problem of hospital beds, oxygen masks, to try and pick up on a personal vendetta and a personal advocate. Like we've said, it's petty. But what is the way forward when it comes to this, Swapnil?
I think, now the Supreme Court will have to just go ahead and appoint somebody else. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are willing to act as amicus in this. And, if it's a call from the Chief Justice, I'm sure many senior advocates would be very happy to pitch in this as far as this is concerned. And the only lesson to be learned is from this is that let's not look at the barbs. Let us continue with the call of the Supreme Court. And, on the flip side, let us not throw any barbs at anybody at this time of crisis, at this time of national crisis. Let us help us each other out, and let's look at the larger picture. We've got all the time in the world to settle our petty scores or settle our scores, whatever it is. One does not know the dynamics between X and Y. So, one has to leave it at that. And when it's a national call, it's a national importance. It's the Chief Justice of India. Both are, you are a very, very senior citizen and a senior member of the bar. Obviously, you know a lot more than a lot of juniors. And, you have to take a larger view. Go ahead with it. Do your duty. Do it to the best of your ability. And then, let the nation applaud you or, just salute you for that matter, that you've, put aside differences and you've gone ahead and helped out the nation. And that's the way to go forward. I think the Supreme Court would have already been in touch with some senior advocates to help out as amicus, and somebody would be very ready and willing to do this. I don't see a problem as far as this is concerned.
Yes. And today I also want to ask you the larger picture here, Swapnil. When the top court of the country had said that there is no way that this should happen, when the top court of the country has said that we want to take suo motu cognizance, they were not, I believe, trying to step on anyone's toes. All they were trying to do at such a time was have a national plan. Why this outrage? Why this motivated outrage and pointed questions? Several times in the orders I've read today, even from the Bombay High Court, they have even complimented the centre and the state for the work they've done. So what is this with the motivations of the lobby? I only ask this because it troubles us that this is a time for unity, and yet even now the lobby is disunited and trying to break the bar.
Well, I think there seems to be some inherent sort of a dislike towards the Supreme Court and its actions. Maybe some of the decisions have not come their way, and that has disappointed them, and that seems to be the reason to me. And there's this constant sort of spite that seems to come out in some form or the other, and I would only call it spite. I can't think of any other word at the moment, and it seems to come out in different ways, or should I say angst. More than spite, it's angst, that it comes out in different ways. Oh, why have you appointed this person? Oh, why did you do this? Oh, why did you do that? And this can come even, I can understand that some of the high courts could do that, saying that to the Supreme Court, oh, we were dealing with this ourselves in our states, why the hell did you step in? I can understand that. The High Court telling the Supreme Court that we are bosses in our state and you don't really need to step in, you're doing a good job. But if it's coming from a certain lobby, a certain sect of people, then I think this is the only reason, because I've often seen that, in the last 2-3 years I have seen rhythm, you and I have covered, I don't know how many judgments of the Supreme Court together, and we've dealt with this lobby aspect several times, including when it was Arnab's case. I see, it seems that there is some sort of a rancor, some sort of an inherent latent rancor towards the Supreme Court in some form, that it seems that certain people's requests are not looked at by the Supreme Court. That's what they think, that that there is some sort of a bias against them. So I don't think that there is a bias, but these people need to come out of that and say that look,
yes,
all orders don't go your way. We all lose at times when we ought to be winning, but that's the way the legal system works. And if we always won in what we thought, then there would be no appeals at all. So the appellate courts wouldn't exist. So I think one has to look at it in a larger fashion and just put this aside and leave the Supreme Court to where it belongs, right at the apex, because if and stop throwing any stones at the Supreme Court, because that is the only institution which is looking after 125 crore people,
Swapnil,
and which has given you the designation, and which has given you the power and the prestige,
yes,
which you hold.
Which is where the shame comes in, Swapnil, when they forget that this is the premier institution that needs to be respected.